has been in the hot seat over having to answer questions about why he left Landon Donovan off the World Cup team. Well, to explain his decision, he recently used Kobe Bryant's new Laker contract as an example. Take a look. He says, this always happens in America. Kobe Bryant, for example, why does he get a 2-year contract extension for $50 million? Because of what he's going to do in the next 2 years for the Lakers? Of course not. Of course not. He gets it because of what he has done before. It makes no sense. Why do you pay for what has already happened? Well, Kobe Bryant, a huge soccer fan, happens to be in Brazil for the World Cup, and this is what he had to say about Clinton's comments.
What was your reaction to that?
I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty comical, actually. I see his perspective. I think the one perspective that he's missing from an ownership point of view is that you want to be an ownership group that's rewarding its players for what they've done while balancing the team going forward. So if you're another player in the future and you're looking at the Lakers organization, you want to be a part of an organization that takes care of its players while at the same time planning for the future. And I think that's something that, Jurgen is, he's a coach, he's a manager, he's not a GM or owner of a franchise. And so when you're looking at it from that perspective, it changes a little bit. Right. But he probably could have used another player as an example.
Yeah, Jurgen. Kobe always with the right answer. Perspective, he says, Stephen A. Do you like his response?
Well, first of all, Kobe doesn't always have the right answer. Let's be clear about that.
Well, we always know that, but I still love him.
But in this particular, well, I love him. Mm-hmm. But in this particular instance, he's right on the money.
Okay.
He's right on the money. The man used the wrong player for this example. Because let me tell you something right now. You don't count out Kobe Bryant. Not the way he plays. A matter of fact, when you look at Dwayne Wade, some would argue one of the things that's being held against him, why he's going to be critiqued on a heavier level, is because the comparison is going to be drawn to Kobe. Yes, you will flash, and you can get to the hole at will, and you can elevate yourself and play above the rim and do mercurial things. But at the same time, when that is going to desert you because Father Time comes knocking or attrition kicks in, there are other requisite skills that need to be developed so you can continue the level of greatness that we're accustomed to seeing you display. And when it comes to Kobe Bryant, this was a dude that could elevate. He was an incredible athlete. He could do all of these different things playing above the rim. But when the legs weren't what they used to be, somehow, some way, he made sure to maintain enough of it to some degree while at the same time developing one of the best jump shots in this game, not to mention the sensational footwork that he has to go along with it. So when you look at that and you say the Lakers giving him $48.5 million over 2 years, I'm sorry, you're not just giving it to him because of what he's done. You're giving it to him because of what he can do. And where the coach really dropped the ball for USA is that he didn't take into account the fact that a Kobe Bryant is a talent that pays for himself because he packs the house and he brings people through the turnstiles. And because he's going to do that along with paraphernalia sales and etc., he is going to pay for himself. That's why he deserves the money that he's getting, because what it's going to cost the Lakers is not what it would cost the Lakers if they gave it to somebody else. Because the Lakers have a 20-year, $3 billion television deal locally, in part because of Kobe Bryant, along with the other business ventures that they have working in their favor. It's because of the greatness that this man has put on display for the better part of 2 decades now. He's earned every penny, the past, the present, and for the 2 years remaining.
But the Lakers do still have a salary cap, am I right?
Yes.
A soft one, but a cap nonetheless.
That's right, a soft one.
I'm going to reiterate what I said about Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley as we open this show. There's certain people I don't bet against. One of those two guys, and Kobe Bryant. I don't bet against Kobe. But it is now on Kobe's shoulders to prove Jurgen Klinsmann wrong, because he can. Even though he'll be 36 in August, he's coming off Achilles rupture, fractured knee. Are we sure that Kobe can live up to, next year, $23.5 million, and the following year, $25 million? Are you sure, Stephen A., he can live up to it? I'm not completely sure, but again, I'm not going to bet against it. he still has the capability to prove Jurgen wrong. We will see if he can live up to that. Do you think there was some thinking on the part of the Laker management that they just paid him because he is box office and they needed him to be the marquee player through a rebuilding couple of years? Maybe there's some thought there. Maybe a little.
That might have factored into the equation, but I think Kobe's the most salient point he made, Skip, was that you want to be known as an organization that takes care of people who take care of you. If everything is about what have you done for me lately and no faith is placed in what you can do for me moving forward, then that doesn't make you an attractive destination for a potential marquee talent. When you have a history of taking care of your own, it goes a long way. That's why you see organizations do that, because it's easier for them to attract individuals to their franchise in the future because they have that reputation. So when they go to somebody and they say, we will take care of you, we will do right by you, it matters.
Okay.
And it goes a long way towards getting people to come play for you.
On balance, allow me to throw out 3 salaries from the newly crowned San Antonio Spurs. World champions, baby. That sounds good.
Yeah,
I like that. I like the ring of that, so to speak.
Right.
Last year, Tony Parker made $12.5 million. Tim Duncan made $10.4 million. And Manu Ginobili, made $7.5 million.
Right.
Again, Kobe is scheduled to make 23 and then 25.
Yes.
Think about that. Think about it.
Yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to, because the key, the operative word there is San Antonio as opposed to L.A. I remember years ago when some of these small market teams, Skip, I did my research on it. Some of these small market teams was making $5, $7 to $10 million on their local television deals for the NBA season.
There's a cap.
Time out. Hold on, Skip. The Lakers signed on for $150 million annually.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say to you is that, again, it's not a hard cap. It's a soft cap. There are punitive damages with the luxury tax, etc. But if a market like L.A. is bringing in that money, then you can't go to a Tim Duncan or a Tony Parker or a Manu Ginobili and get them to accept those dollars because they know you're making it over here. But when you're in Texas, a state with no state income tax, by the way, and you're in a smaller market, and you see everybody around you having to deal with that, you're making a quality of life decision. But if they were in L.A., there's no way that Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili would accept those dollars from an L.A. or New York or Chicago market. Not from one of those markets. Not from one of those markets. No.
They took dramatically less money because they wanted to win championships. Tim Duncan,
they took
$10 million a year.
less
Are you
money
kidding me?
because they were in San Antonio, and San Antonio can't afford it, so they had to make the decision: do we stay here, all right, and accept less, or do we leave and go elsewhere? They made the decision to stay. But if they were in L.A., Chicago, or New York, there is no way those markets would have come to Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili and got them to accept those dollars. You would have had to pay them more because they would have watched you collect. Skip, they would have watched you collecting the money. What's Dwayne Wade and LeBron James complaining about now?
Okay,
what they're saying is, we don't mind, hold on, we don't mind taking a pay cut, but Mickey Arison, you can't ask us to take the pay cut and pocket it yourself. You have to use it to get us other players.
Okay.
You can't ask us to take a pay cut while you collecting all of this dough.
Seriously. If you want to pay Tim Duncan for what he has done for a franchise, shouldn't he be worth $25 million next year?
I just said he is. But I'm saying to you, if you're working in a smaller market, you have to make a decision. If we're working in the newspaper business, Skip, I'm working for the Winston-Salem Journal. You can pay me X amount of dollars. That ain't flying if I'm working in New York City. You better come up with that. You better come up with that money. I'm in that market.
You would be carrying the Winston-Salem Journal or whatever it is. You'd be the star of it. You'd be worth $25 million. You'd be the only reason anybody bought the paper.
But they wouldn't be able to afford to pay me what the New York papers could pay me. That's the point. The market matters.
It's not that big a disparity from Winston-Salem to L.A.
Hey, excuse me. If I was working at some rinky-dink smaller network, all right, there's a certain amount of money that I'm going to get.
Pay the man.
ESPN can't come to me with that. Oh, ESPN making money,
Gentlemen,
which means I need to make money.
We got to wrap this
Spurs
discussion.
are making a lot of money.
So it seems to me
capitalist.
you make $10 million and he makes $10 million, correct?
Who?
You both $10 million, $10 million.
How's that? No, he makes $25 million.
Oh, he makes $25 million, and you make $10 million. Okay, so you're the Tim, he's the Kobe.
I take less because
get it.
this show has a cap.
It has a cap.
Yeah.
All right, we leave it here. Your wardrobe
I wanna
budget.
win.
I don't know that.
Your